Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Reinharz, CEO, CTO, and founder of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions. This weekly video is actually going to be our long overdue, but definitely our long awaited Q&A, or AMA, Ask Me Anything, that we do once or twice a year, or at least we've done it for the last 4 or 5 years or so. Today, what I've done is selected 10 or 11 questions that I think are the most impactful, really talking about the company's stock, what that might mean for retail investors, fans, and followers, and how our company is operating in the best interests of all investors. Over the years, I've gotten to know many of our fans, followers, and investors, and I want to let you know that being an OTC penny stock that raises money through its public offerings in order to fund our growth and development is a very special and unique thing today. Most tech companies are really funded through PE or venture capitals or, like I said, private equity, and it's a very different feel. But our company, AITX, is so supported by what I consider Main Street, regular folks just trying to do better for themselves, like me. And so it's just been great to be able to connect and drive the company this way with us working together. So I want to say thank you. AITX has primarily been funded through share issuances through our position on the OTC stock market.
It's what's considered a junior quotation medium, or an over-the-counter quotation system that has been modernized in order to be serviced by the big trading brokers, of which not even all of them allow trading of our stock.
But what this has allowed us to do is it's allowed us to grow with a single founder, in this particular case, me, to drive this vision of how we see the future in terms of having mobile and stationary devices performing human-like work in the facility and property management type business. And we know that facility management is fast approaching $1 trillion. We know that security needs us. We know our sales are tripling. And we really believe that we're on the right track. And we've got the results to show it. Today, I've selected roughly 10 questions that I think talk about the company's journey, how that reacts to the stock, how that might react to a Nasdaq uplist. And in some cases, when I can, I kind of try to talk about what that means for retail investors. I will share that we received almost 100 questions sent directly to me, sent through the link. But the most frequent question that I get is, when will the stock go up? And that's a question that I can't answer for a few reasons. Number one, I'm restricted by the SEC on answering that question. I'm an insider in the company, and things that I say that could technically influence or move the market in that context are restricted from being said for good reason. So number one, I don't have an answer for that reason alone. Number two is what I've seen over the years is you, the market, dictate the market price, not me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to work as hard as I can at it, and we're going to try to grow this company. I'm responsible for business fundamentals, for growth, for technology, for customers, for satisfaction, for building revenues. The market reacts to what we're doing. So I set our path, I set our goals, I do our best to achieve them or exceed them, and then I hope that the market reacts as well as they can. And ultimately, that's the best answer that I could give you. I do know positive sentiment does help the stock. When people complain about the stock, it creates negative sentiment and kind of a bit of a spiral down. Now, for this Q&A, I chose hard questions. I chose the toughies. And we're going to lead off with the first toughie. Let's go. This question was put forward by somebody who I've grown close to over the years and really knows the company, knows the stock. And I was very surprised that he asked this question, but it's a tough one. So I'm going to ask it here. And the question is will the company survive another year? Will the company survive another year? I thought the question was surprising, but my strong expectations is yes, the company will survive another year. Now, I'll certainly direct you to the forward-looking statements and the cautionary statements. And you should always take everything with a grain of salt because anything can happen. Anything can happen. But from my perspective, we're coming up on our 9th year anniversary from the time that I registered robotic assistance devices, 9 years. And over the past several years, we've grown into a multi-million-dollar business. End of this year, we might be in the 8 figures in terms of revenue. From my perspective, every day we get better, stronger, and absolutely, it assures me more and more that not only will we last the year, but I expect to last many, many years. Question 2, I really like because it gives me an opportunity to share what might be a nugget, so to speak. And the question is when will AITX show profit? And the nugget that I'm going to share with you is that we have something happening on the debt side right now that could turn Q2 or Q3 profitable. And it would be a non-cash kind of profitable type action, but nonetheless, to answer the question, we could technically be profitable for a quarter, either Q2 or Q3 of this year. So either this quarter or next quarter, because Q2 just started June 1st. So that is definitely a possibility. I'm waiting to hear back. You can be assured that when it's done, you all will hear about it because that's very exciting. And it kind of draws a bit of a parallel for me to Tesla. But Tesla started in 2003. And in 2013, they actually turned a quarterly profit for the first time. And it was an anomaly. And again, kind of like us, sort of, it was kind of non-cash, having to do with, I don't know, carbon credits or electric credits or transfers. I don't know what it was, but it was one of those things that happened on the balance sheet or income statement that led them to have a quarterly profit. And that's kind of sort of a parallel to us in terms of our profit here. Now, keep in mind, Tesla did not start producing regular quarterly profits until around 2020. I think for us, it's going to be faster than 17 years from inception. But anyway, so basically what I'm saying is in the short term, we might have some good fortune and turn a quarterly profit. When do we start showing regular profits? Well, I expect to start showing regular operational positive cash flow this fiscal year. And I expect to start showing regular profits potentially as soon as next fiscal year, depending on what happens with debt and our debt servicing. It's definitely within reach. So not bad, not a bad horizon. Remember, anything can happen. Okay, next question. One of my favorites, sort of. When will dilution stop? When will dilution stop? I think the meaning of this question is when will the outstanding shares stop increasing? Well, short answer is, I don't know. Okay, there's just a lot of balls in the air that need to work out in order for dilution to totally stop. What I can tell you is that our cash burn reduces all the time. As our revenues go up and as we do cost control and cost reduction, that burn amount, which is filled by the public share sales, diminishes, reducing our need technically for dilution. So that's positive. I can also share with you that if we manage to confirm and receive these millions of dollars from traditional bank financing or more traditional financing versus dilution, that will also put a brand new twist on the company not needing to dilute in order to remain in operations. And I think that's what we want. That said, there probably will be some ongoing dilution, hopefully much less than we've experienced, in order just to take care of miscellaneous things that do come up. So there will likely some additional dilution coming, but my job is to minimize it as much as possible, and that's what I'm trying to do. Ultimately, the goal is that, hey, any dilution, and remember, dilution are sales that we sell to an institutional investor at a discount to market. These aren't free shares in any way, shape, or form. Everyone's intention and desire is for the stock price to go up. If dilution is minimized, stock price, I think, can go up. Everybody wins across the board. That's what we're working towards in the short and medium term. Oh, I got a good one. I got a tough one. How much money do I make? How much money does Steve Reinharz make? Well, my W-2 last year was $375,000. And that number, say around $400,000 or so, is pretty much my average annual earnings over the last 9 years. Understanding that the first 5, I didn't get anything. So I was accruing salary, accruing interest. So probably sitting around 400-ish, plus or minus, in terms of real money that I get. And I'll share with you, I think that's super duper fair, considering that, majority shareholder, founder, invented, all the products and so forth, put the team together. So I don't want to spend the time talking about me, but being a founder, CEO is definitely different than being just a CEO. And being a CEO isn't easy, trust me, but being the founder, CEO, where it's your vision that you're executing, you're bringing people together for, and none of it existed before you brought it into the world, is different and more encompassing for me than if I was just the CEO of some other company, like a hired gun or something like that. I can tell you that creating this journey for myself, for my own career, and understand something, I am absolutely committed to AITX forever. But certainly the skills that I've demonstrated have increased my value in the market. I don't have an employment contract right now with AITX. I have been advised by our accountants and our auditors that I should have a contract in place with the company. So I'll put one in this year. My last contract expired. I'll create one this year, put it in. It'll be public. Everyone will be able to see what the terms are. But anyway, that's how much money I make. What do I think our year-end recurring monthly revenue will be? Recurring monthly revenue, we abbreviate to RMR. And I think we kind of finished the year, maybe 500, 550, somewhere around that RMR. You haven't seen the Q1 results yet, so you'll see what those numbers are now. And I'll probably do a press release in the next few weeks about what the revenues look like for Q1. Given that today, when I record this on June 1st, is the first day of Q2. What do I think our RMR will be? Well, looking at my spreadsheets over and over and tweaking, I really see it at the $1 million mark on the low end. When I factor in revenue from new products that are hitting the market this year, such as Romeo, Rio Mini, Rio Max, Ram, Sarah, I see a really great upside to that $1 million. So I think that getting into 8 figures of revenue for this fiscal year is a big deal, and I expect that we'll do that. I think that breaking the $1 million RMR mark is a very big deal. I think we'll do that this fiscal year as well. So all good news when I look at our stuff in terms of our solutions, and I look at our sales funnel, and I talk to our customers. So I'm pretty excited about hitting these numbers. These are big, big numbers for us and for me. I hope everybody really likes these questions. I hope that I'm really hitting in on questions that you want to know the answers to. And this next question is a double-header question, which is, when do I think the company will be on Nasdaq, and how or if that benefits the small investor? Great questions. I believe we'll be on Nasdaq sometime between 2027 and 2029. And again, I'll remind you, read all the disclosures, that the information I'm giving you right now is the best information I know at this time to my best ability. So between 2027 and 2029. Now, what does that mean? It means that we're going to be profitable, we're going to have low debt, we're going to have cash in the bank, and we're going to have a strong growth rate. Those are the 4 things that we need to have in place in order for me to say to you, this is the best possible time for us to uplist for the retail investor. Okay? Those are the 4 things that I'm looking for. And my projections kind of show us landing sometime between that time frame. Will it benefit the retail investor? Again, I don't know. Time will tell. And the reason is that what method do we uplist in? Do we need to do a overnight pipe? Are we just going to do a regular uplist? How is the Nasdaq market going to react? Are they going to love this company? Move us from $10 a share to $40 a share? Are they going to hate it? This is why it's important that we uplist with strength. Cash in the bank, low debt, growing revenues, so forth, right? So we got to do it right. So hopefully we go this way instead of this way. This is why we have to pick the timing. Over the long term, I absolutely am about as certain as I possibly can that over the long term, if we keep the trajectory that we're on and we enter NASDAQ the way that I've said is the best way for all of us to do so, I absolutely believe that long-term holders of the stock will win. That is my job. In the meantime, there could be some spikes and dips that might last Short period of time, long period of time, I don't know. It's a stock. It goes up and down. There's going to be winners and losers along the way. But over the long term, I do believe everybody can and will benefit depending on your entry point and how you trade. We've got one question related to shareholders. Then we have 2 product questions, and then we're done for this Q&A, folks. But if you like this format and if you like these questions, let me know, because this form is kind of easier for me to put together and do and get to you than if I was doing a big production with multiple team members and live questions and so forth. So in any case, let's go through these final 3 questions. The first question of these final 3 is, what can the retail shareholder or fans and followers of AITX do to help the company? And the answer has always been the same. Share what we're doing. Share the website. Share some of the things that you think about the company that are cool. Share our journey. That's all. Just share it. Introduce other people to it. Eyeballs, eyeballs, eyeballs. The more grassroots support and interest we can get,
the better we can potentially burst onto Nasdaq
and hopefully take that stock's opening price and drive it up. So that's what you can do. And thank you for the question. You know, this next question is a great question. I've got it several times, and this is my first time publicly giving the answer. But the question is can you get on Home Shopping Network and QVC? And the answer is we submitted. We submitted a couple months ago. And to support that, you know, they give you very strict guidelines of what you should do. And I did a 2-minute pitch video, which I thought was really, really good. And I might release it one day. But HSN QVC have not called us back yet. So I don't know if they're not interested, or we're still in queue, or what's going on. But in any case, yes, we have submitted. Hopefully we get on. I don't know. And the last question that I'll address in this Q&A is, will there be a solar RADCam? And the answer is maybe. I don't know. I don't have anything on the books yet. We're not developing anything new for RADCam right now, other than bringing RADCam residential into RADCam small business and RADCam enterprise. There are issues and challenges with solar, specifically being that we have to go from like a 5-volt platform to a 3-volt platform on the insides in order to consume less energy. There's also kind of concerns with, you know, where the camera is going to be placed and how much energy it gathers and how much our analytics run in terms of power usage. So it requires a little bit of work that we don't have the resources or interest to do right now, simply because RADCam residential did not take off like we all hoped it would, which is why we're pivoting it to SMB and enterprise, which, if it works out the way that I hope, will actually be more profitable than being in residential anyway. So folks, 10 questions I think we just went through. I hope they were poignant questions that added value to your journey with me and the company. Thank you so much for watching, for being part of our trip, and wish you all the best. See you around.